Hi, my name is Parker Babers.
I'm Courtney Despard.
My name is Rachel Rose.
We're all 11th grade students at Waverly Sharp High School, and we're in the High School Business program.
In this video, we'll be showing how teaching can be used in conjunction with managerial skills and techniques in order to be more effective. We'll explain the concept of management and what managers should and shouldn't do in order to be successful. What is the concept of management? Management involves a process of coordinating resources in order to accomplish goals. For example, a manager would use employees, which is a human resource, and money, which is a financial resource, in order to accomplish a task. Management involves 5 main functions. These are planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling. These functions explain how exactly a manager would coordinate resources to accomplish their goals. Every single function is integrated in this process. Managers use these functions constantly to keep a business running and successful. Today we'll be showing you how you as a teacher should use these functions in the classroom in order to be more effective. We will also show you how a manager should and shouldn't use these functions in order to be successful. First, we'll start off with planning. Planning lays the groundwork for all of the management functions. It involves determining what needs to be done and how exactly this will be accomplished. Managers do this by identifying their goals and then determining the activities and the resources needed. As a teacher, you utilize planning every single day. You plan daily lessons and assessments. Depending on what you are teaching, you may even help with the planning of the curriculum. Planning helps your teaching to be effective because it allows you to determine what you need to get done and how you will do it. Our next function is organizing. Organizing in the managerial involves setting up the way that the work will be done. This is done by reviewing the plans made prior and then determining how to organize resources in order to accomplish these goals. In a managerial sense, organizing involves many things. It includes creating jobs with specific duties that need to be performed in order to accomplish goals. It also includes determining lines of authority, which means figuring out who is the boss of who. When it comes to teaching, you can also use the organizing function. You organize your students and you organize your classroom. You determine how to arrange things in order to accomplish your goals, especially when it comes to projects. You may determine job duties for students and arrange them into groups in order to coordinate efforts. You may also establish a chain of command for such projects. Organizing is important in both the business and in the classroom setting because it allows the people involved to know what they are supposed to be doing and how to do it. Organizing allows classrooms to run smoothly and efficiently. It also allows businesses to be well communicated, coordinated, and successful.
Alright, so to complete the lesson, here's what you'll need to be able to understand. I'm going to quickly review it for you, alright?
Okay.
Alright, I have a new project for you and I want it done by the end of the week.
Okay, what do I have to do?
Our next function is staffing. This involves finding the necessary people to fulfill jobs in order to perform the tasks necessary to reach goals. Managers do this by identifying the skills that are needed, recruiting, and then hiring those who fulfill the skill requirements. This function also involves assigning workers to specific areas, determining their pay, and deciding if any further training is necessary. When it comes to teaching, while your students don't officially work for you, it could be said that they are essentially working for a grade, which is determined by you. In this way, students are your employees. You aren't able to hire your students, but you do determine the necessary skills needed for your students in order to accomplish their goals created. Once you determine these skills, you decide what you need to teach your students. Staffing is important for a manager to be successful because if an employee didn't have the necessary skills in order to carry out their assigned job duties, they wouldn't be able to reach the company's goals as effectively. If a manager didn't staff correctly, they would risk losing the business's money, time, and effort.
Alright, so for the project, here's what you're going to need to do. Here's your paperback. Good job.
Thank you. Good luck completing the lesson.
Next function is directing. Directing involves guiding and motivating workers in order to accomplish a company's goal. This can include developing team spirit and providing financial incentives. As a teacher, this function is very important because if students aren't motivated and aren't being directed, it is unlikely that they would be able to accomplish the goals you've set for them. While you can't exactly provide your students with financial incentives, you can motivate them in other ways, as many teachers do. This can include things like a motivational speech to help your students feel like they want to learn, or perhaps the promise of something fun if goals are accomplished, such as a party involving food. Directing is important for a manager to be successful because if employees aren't motivated and aren't being provided with guidance, it is unlikely that they will reach their goals as quickly or as effectively as they would if they had both incentive and direction.
Alright, if you try hard in the next assessment, I'll bring cookies on Monday. Congratulations. Alright, complete this assessment.
I don't want to.
I don't care.
The last function involves controlling. It involves monitoring company activity and making sure that the company's goals are being met. One big part of controlling is in monitoring employee performance and determining if their work is up to set standards and if there are problems that need correcting. Controlling also involves trying to prevent problems before they even occur. This process involves determining standards in order to meet goals, finding ways to measure performance in order to compare it to the standards, comparing the standards within the measured performance, and then taking corrective action if there are discrepancies between the standards and the measured performance. In the classroom, this would involve setting up standards for the students' work and measuring their work against these standards in order to make meeting goals more efficient. In the classroom, controlling would be very important because teachers have to know how their students are doing and whether they are learning what they need to be learning. If they aren't up to these standards, then corrective action needs to be taken so that they can learn it. In order to be successful, it is important for managers to control. If managers don't know what their employees are doing and whether their performance is up to standards, they could miss a dangerous problem right under their nose and have no means to correct the issue in order to keep on the track to meeting the company's goals.
Hey, please put the phone away, okay? We're supposed to... As you can see, the functions of management play a lot into being an effective teacher.
Not only are these functions important for a business, but they also matter in the classroom.
In order for a manager to be successful, they must utilize all of these functions. It's not hard to see that a successful teacher might need to use these as well.
Thank you for listening to our video. We hope our explanation helped you gain some insight on what you need in order to be an effective teacher.